ready?
Mhm.
Hi, my name is Kim Fisher. I was diagnosed with breast cancer October 2014. Went in, it's routine mammogram. Um, and actually, I've been doing my mammograms, but this was just another routine. They wanted to check out something that they've seen, and they seen that it was calcifications. They diagnosed it as calcifications, and we went to the doctor. They decided that instead of doing a lumpectomy after lumpectomy, the best situation to do was to go ahead and do a mastectomy, because it wasn't just in one spot. Calcifications are all over. They don't spread. They're just in different areas. It was really shocking to my husband and I. We looked at each other and you just don't know which way to turn. You're like actually dumbfounded, don't know who you go to, where you go, what to do next. You just want it out of you. And so we ended up we left him, we ended up going to another doctor who was a Dr. Creeley at East Jefferson. And he looked at all the mammograms and tests and everything, and he suggested the best way to go. Also, the oncologist said the best way to go was to do the mastectomy. We went through, and I went ahead and did the mastectomy through Dr. Creeley. After that, I healed, and you feel like you're not whole. You feel like you've lost something, and you just want that piece back. It's just, you just feel empty. Then one day I had went to one of my doctors for just a regular checkup like we always do, my husband and I was laying there and talking to the girl that was doing my EKG, and she said, we started talking about breast cancer and everything. She said, oh, I had it too. I went and I told her, oh no. And she, this word, talking to one another, she says, brought up the breast center, and that it's great. The doctors are wonderful. They give you back something that you have lost. They're so they're compassionate. The nurses are the greatest. So I said, well, who did you?
Heard about reconstruction before that?
They said you could have reconstruction, but what I did was, the route I went, I didn't know which way to go. When you get hit by it, and you just don't know whether you should, you just want it out. And you don't think of, hey, what I'm gonna do about rebuilding this once they take it off. And that's when when I went to the doctor, for my regular checkup, she was saying, oh, she had it done, she had reconstruction. And she told me the doctor that did it, a Dr. Wise here, and she said they're wonderful. And I said, oh, I think I'll go check it out. So came and seen Dr. Christopher Trahan, who did my surgery. Great fella, down to her earth. He likes to go fishing, hunting, you name it, he does it. But great guy. Had my first surgery. Golly, let's see.
It was December.
December, yes. Let's see. First surgery, he came and he took
your stomach?
Took from my stomach and the back of my arms to rebuild the breast. It was the first surgery.
And then put an implant in.
And put an implant. Okay. Well, then I had a reoccurrence that I had to go back in, and because I ended up with like a little hematoma. But he had to go back and because of the implant that he put in was too large. So he had to go back in, take that implant out, and put a smaller one in. But what they do is they take all the tissue from your stomach and from the back of your arms, and that's how they rebuild your breast. So then the second surgery was a form of like a little tweaking it is what they call it. It's the second surgery where they come in. So then I had said there's two things you can do with the nipple. You can either have a tattoo or you can have a nipple reconstruction. Well, I decided I wanted to do the nipple reconstruction. And then that's where they come in and they kind of cut you and they pull a little skin and make it like a little nipple. And then you come back and you're tattooed around that area and it looks like a regular nipple. So that's my third stage I'm going through right now. I just got finished with that, with the reconstruction of the nipple. Now I'm ready to go and do the tattoo with Vinny. It's been a journey, but we're swimming along. Just, you know what they say, just keep swimming. That's what we're doing. We're just swimming. Keep swimming, keep swimming. So.
My name's Angela Thomas. I'm 37. I'm actually the daughter of Kim. And due to the fact that she was diagnosed with cancer and everything, my doctor, my OBGYN actually recommended me to go ahead and start getting routine mammograms. So I went ahead and had one done about a year and a half ago, and everything was fine. Nothing was found. And then I went back for my regular routine one in March of this year of 2016, and they found something that they wanted me to come back for. So I went ahead and went back, and they did a ultrasound closer and everything, and they said, okay, we're going to go ahead and schedule a biopsy. Went ahead, scheduled the biopsy, did that. That came back as cancerous. The type of cancer I had was HER2 positive. It was about the size of, I want to say, maybe an eraser, an eraser on a small pencil, maybe a little bit bigger. Like maybe like a Skittle, something like that. But the type of cancer that it was very aggressive. So the surgeon that I had gone to in Slidell, at Slidell Memorial, said, gave me 4 different options to do. And of course, immediately I told my husband, I said, if this comes out to be cancer, they're both coming off. I'm not even messing around with it. And that's basically what that surgeon at Slidell Memorial had suggested, to go ahead and do the double mastectomy and reconstruction, that I could pick who I wanted to go to. And of course, I picked to come here to St. Charles Surgical Center because of my mom's experience and everything. Came here, I went and saw Dr. Trahan, and I also saw Dr. Ardone. Dr. Ardone's the one that did my mastectomy. And then Dr. Trahan went in and did the reconstruction while I was in there. So mine all happened all at once. Learning from experience, I came straight here. So they took 3 lymph nodes out. It was on my right side. So they took 3 lymph nodes out. It didn't spread to the lymph nodes or anything like that. But they said, since it was so aggressive and since I was so young, that they wanted me to go ahead. They wanted me to do the chemotherapy treatments and different things like that. So I started doing my chemotherapy treatments in June, on June 21st of this year. And I'm currently still going through it. Went to my latest one on Tuesday. I go every week now. And it comes with the joys of, the loss of the hair and the fatigue and everything like that. And of course, I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old little boy, so that on top of everything else. But friends and family have been wonderful. So my husband's been right there by my side as much as he can possibly be. And so we going through chemo, and then hopefully, in, I want to say maybe December, January, my doctor is going to let me, because I go to also Dr. McKelvin too. He's my oncologist. So hopefully he will let me come back here to do my part 2 of my surgery and reconstruction and everything, because I had everything redone, but I got to do the rest of it. So hopefully he lets me, but he said we'll have to see how chemo goes. So no radiation, just strict.
I didn't do either.
Strict, harsh chemotherapy. I mean, the first 4 treatments were rough, and then now he's got me on every week where it's just I start building back up and then I go back again and get it again. So, yep, and I got to do it for a whole year. I got to do chemo for a whole year. Mine was just one tumor.
Mine was little spots all over. I was set up for radiation, but when they went in and seen, and it wasn't in the lymph nodes or anything, they said I didn't need the radiation. That I would just have to stay on the medicine, which I take, it's tamoxifen. So I have to be on that for 5 years. We have our good days and
Yeah, bad days. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have somebody to talk to that, understands where you're coming from. Even though I'm going through something a little bit different than what she went through, we still have that
Yeah.
common ground where we can talk about it. We can show each other our scars, compare.
Yeah.
There's no privacy anymore. It's like, oh, what do you look like? Oh, check me out. So it's
You ask why, and you say, well, he only gives you what you can handle. And then she's a teacher, and she can't teach. And I said, well, maybe there's a reason for this. You're able to stay home with your boys and
Yeah.
get them. And which is good, because now both of them, within a week of each other, have broken their arms.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's why you say, we
Yeah.
said, we're just going to keep
Yeah.
swimming. We're just going to keep swimming.
Yes.
The 5-year-old broke his in football.
Football.
A week later, the 3-year-old broke his, fell off the
slide at school.
I said, well, you see, there's a reason for all this madness we're going through. But,
Yeah.
What are your husbands? How do they sort of cope and how do they?
Mine goes he talks to me a lot. And then he'll go to lunch with friends of his and stuff like that and just kind of vent to them. And as a matter of fact, last week he went with a friend of his and just started spilling everything to his friend, just about everything going on. And, and so it's just, I think that's pretty much because he doesn't drink or anything like that. So he,
Which is good,
yeah,
yeah.
so that's pretty, I mean, he goes and he hunts when he can, when he's off of work to kind of get it off. But he talks to, his friends and his grandparents. He talks to his grandma a lot. I have a sister. She's right now breastfeeding. So when she's done breastfeeding, she's going to go get tested and everything like that.
to be honest with you, I don't remember. Because when you hit with something like this, it's like your mind just goes blank. And even though you have your husband with you or your daughter, you could have, it's just it goes blank. And it's just like I said, I just looked and said, why me? And I just want it out. I just, and I hope it's not bad. I hope, I just want to be here for my grandkids and da-da-da-da. And and I'm sure the first doctor that told us when we were sitting in his office about my situation, I'm sure he said, you can have a mastectomy, but the situation at hand was we need to get it out, he said, and go from there. And that's what I did. I got it out, and then I went from there. And my husband does a lot of reading, Googling different on his phone and iPad, and he looked at he knew about Vinny before even I knew about Vinny. I was like, what? He says, well, I said, that's all you're reading and you do on the computer. Yeah. So, and it just happened that, in fact, Dr. Creeley, who did the mastectomy, had said, we asked him, who do you recommend to go for a reconstruction? And he recommended this one doctor. And I went to him, and he was just, it was like, well, this is, and it's not going to be like this, and we can do this. He just wasn't one of those ones that I wanted to go with. He wasn't for me. So, and like I said, how they came about was sheer luck, I was talking to the girl who was doing my EKG, who came here, And said she said it's like a spa. You go there. She said, you like it in a spa. I said, what? She says, it's like you're in a spa. They cater to you. The food is great. The doctors are wonderful. And, you come out looking whole again. And I said, that's where I came because of her.
My advice, I mean, at my age, I mean, take them off. They're just, it's not worth it. It's not worth your life. It's not worth, it's not worth the heartache and everything. Find out the best facility you can go to. This is one of the best ones here. Get them taken off. Look at all of your options. Listen to your doctors. I mean, you can always rebuild. There's always rebuilding. You can't get your life back, but you can rebuild your breast. So, I mean, do what you got to do. I mean, I wasn't happy about having to go through chemo, but I'm doing what I have to do because of my family and because I want to be here. So, there's always a way of looking forward, and that's what keeps me going is, the family and those two little boys, that you're going to make it. You're going to get to the other side of it, and you're going to, be a happy person. But definitely, they're just breasts. So just
Right.
take them off and start fresh. That's how I looked at it. I got a whole new body out of it.
I think she spoke for both of us. I feel the same way, other than the fact I wish I was going through what she's going through instead of her. I wish it would be me. But it's how it is. So.
This presentation is made possible through the support of Air Expanders and the Center for Restorative Breast Surgery in New Orleans. For more information, go to I'mTakingCharge.com.